Welcome to another NEBA Spotlight. Today, I'm happy to present to you Electra. Electra, tell us about you. Tell us about the company.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate a little bit of time this morning to learn more about my company, the Alternative Board. And my name is Electra Gavoni. And so let's dig in. So I talk to a lot of folks one-to-one, but here are some fun facts to get to know me a little bit better. I've been married to the same guy, and believe it or not, we're on year 39. And we met while working at Long's Jewelers. For those of you who are familiar with Long's Jewelers in the Burlington Mall, that was the place where our stars crossed and all went well after that. I spent most of my career in financial area in technology, and it was a blast. But then I really got tired of it. And when I decided to hang up that portion of my career, I started a tab franchise here in the Boston area. It was 2019. Can't believe it. My God, time flies. But I am a business coach and facilitator for Tab, and it's been an incredible journey. Part of the thing that drew me there is the next bullet, which is I'm a bit obsessed about finding what is even better. Wouldn't it be even better if we did this, if we found a better balance, if we found a way to make something more efficient, if we could use technology to make us run smarter and scale faster? I love those type of problems, and I love working with business owners who have them. Another fun fact is if I did win the lottery, one thing my husband and I talk about doing is travel. But we would love, because we're also a little semi-obsessed with tennis, if we could see every Grand Slam tournament. And of course, that means traveling to Melbourne and Paris and London and or Wimbledon and New York City. And that would be a really fun way of spending our time. And finally, I've mentioned this a couple of times, but I'm the president of a historical society. And if you, so I talk about the Sanborn House from time to time. I thought it'd be fun to give you guys a little bit of a peek at the Sanborn House. It's a really cool Beaux-Arts mansion in Winchester, Mass. And it's been around since 1903. And if you are interested, it's also available for event rentals. So it's a beautiful home. It's really a wonderful thing to keep history alive and well. And we do that. And a part of how we do that is we take care of this home. So now turning into my tab business and working with business owners. One of the things we see, and we see it worldwide, because Tab is actually a worldwide franchise, is what does keep business owners up at night? And we've boiled it down to these six things: time, money, people, vision or lack thereof, strategy or lack thereof, and perhaps a lacking an exit plan. And so these things are true universally. So business owners and us figuring out the equation here is a big driver of the type of work that I do. And so I'm going to spend a little bit of time going through some different ways in which I work with business owners to solve these challenges. You know, the notion of what TAB was initially founded on was the fact that privately held companies and small companies lack a strategic advantage that larger companies have in not having a board of directors. And so, what a board of directors gives you is that who is that smart group that challenges you, pushes you, keeps you on point and focus. And without that, you can meander and you can keep your eye on the wrong ball. And so, a part of what we are now doing now for 35 years, and this is, I'm talking about Tab being around for so long, is look at the value of one-on-one coaching and working with these peer groups to really help you build your business strategically and outpace your competitors. And we see it in our numbers. These businesses that have this guidance grow faster. They're more streamlined. They make more revenue because they've got higher margins. So when we think about the coaching and where we start, it starts with your vision. And we ask these simple questions and we use these tools to answer these questions. First, with any leader, it's like, who are you? Who are you as a leader? And then we ask, the next question is, and what do you want? What's your vision for yourself and your company, and what do you value and care about? And then we ask the question, like, all right, so where are we now? What business diagnostics, what assessments can we do to really get a very good look at what's happening in your business? And that gives us a perfect opportunity to move forward and say, now what? How do we get there for where we want to go? And that's about the strategic plan and setting sprints and goals that you can achieve on shorter stints and having those key performance factors in place so that you know where you're going. You have dials on your business and you yourself as the leader are dialed in. So there are times in which you have a company that has a leadership team. And you would think for the things, those questions I just asked, that that team is well aligned around where we're going, how we're getting there, what are we looking at. But I can tell you that is not always the case. And Strat Pro is for the business owner that has a leadership team and they're struggling. They aren't on the same page. And so Strat Pro is a series of workshops that takes you through a process to really align vision, jointly create vision and strategy, figure out proper accountability and the way in which we work together and make decisions, and see that we have a continuous process to move these agendas forward. And we're doing it as a team as opposed to working at cross purposes. So StratPro is something that I do work with strategically with teams. So that is one service I provide. And now moving on to HiMap. And I'm super excited because May is going to be when I start a next cohort. And that's all about helping people step into leadership and really developing those skills. And so we break it down into different paths and someone can work in one path or work all across all four. It is 2 hours a month. There's also coaching, and you also have a cohort of people who are in the same moment in their career that become your posse, your team that helps you navigate how to have difficult conversations, how to inspire people to move beyond their limitations as an incredible manager and leader. And so I'm super excited to have that May class on tap. And I wanted to make a big announcement. And so even look at my name. My name, the company, my company's name is Boston in Boston Northwest. It's Tab Boston Northwest. Well, guess what? I am now in an open territory, which means I can serve US and Canada without really focus on just in the Boston area. So I wanted to let everyone know. And we do so much virtually, and so the technology has allowed it a much easier transition to open territory. So I'm really happy to share that news. And so always so grateful for this group. Want to do a quick slide on what are some great referrals. You know, I love talking to business owners. If I had to say my ideal, they typically have been running for at least 2 years. So they've experienced highs and lows, and they really are starting to say, like, okay, what are my true problems, what I have running my business? It can be in any industry. And it's from a revenue standpoint, being able to afford services, typically business over 1 million are a great ideal target. And then with C-level executives, they might be running teams that aren't aligned. And so StratPro can help at different parts of organizations. Doesn't just have to be the top leadership level. And so happy to talk to C-levels who are looking for that support. And then finally, some great introductions for me are around fractional people who work around CEOs and business leaders and provide services. So a trusted advisor or fractional professionals are wonderful people that I'd love to meet and expand my network. And so I appreciate you all. Thank you so much for your time this morning. This is a wonderful group, and I'm so glad to be here.